Hello, I'm Danielle Moskowitz, the Vice President of Human Services at Goodwill Industries of Hawaii, and I'm here to talk about the See Hawaii Work Program, along with...
I'm Pankaj Banod. I'm the Division Administrator for the Benefit Employment and Support Services Division of State of Hawaii, Department of Human Services. I'm responsible for managing the SNAP program, the TANF program, the child care subsidies, and child care licensing, along with homeless programs as well for State of Hawaii, Department of Human Services.
The See Hawaii Work Program is an innovative subsidized employment program that's been successfully operating in the state of Hawaii since 2005. See Hawaii Work is an incredible partnership between the State of Hawaii Department of Human Services and Goodwill Industries of Hawaii. See utilizes a two-pronged approach. We're working with TANF participants to help them get jobs, get necessary job training, grow skills and abilities, start career paths, and proceed on the road to self-sufficiency. See is also working intensively with the local business community to help local businesses meet hiring needs and growing labor demands. The See Hawaii Work Program offers public and private sector employers a generous wage benefit subsidy. It's a minimum wage plus 14% to cover incidental costs to encourage them to hire TANF participants into jobs.
Ultimate goal of the SEED program is to find unsubsidized employment for the participants. And with that, we are also looking at wage progression and job retention. And Goodwill Industries is doing a great job of actually looking at both statistics. The real thing is that I want to talk about how this partnership has come about and why Goodwill, not anybody else. We went through a request for proposals and received bids from a lot of the organizations from the nonprofit world and for-profit. Some were from the contiguous United States and some were from Hawaii. And we had a very specific request that we made, that we want a provider who can actually provide the services to the state of Hawaii as a contractor, so they can develop jobs, they can actually place our TANF recipients in those jobs, and also work on building the employer relationships and also do the job retention part. And they also need to come up with a strategy how to market this program. And we found that when we reviewed the proposals, Goodwill was the best written proposal and the best strategy that we believed that they came up with that would really help the TANF recipients go through this program and allow the state of Hawaii not only to meet the work participation requirements, but also move the clients into self-sufficiency, and also by moving them into job security and also the wage progression and other things that come with employment, including sustaining it over the long period of time, and also stabilizing the families that we are all interested in serving and have the mission to serve. Second, other things that we were looking at with Goodwill was the mission of Goodwill is aligned with the Department of Human Services, and that is to gear the clients towards self-sufficiency and also to overcome the employment barriers that these clients have as far as employment is concerned. Goodwill has 52 years of history. Goodwill has tremendous credibility in the community. They have tremendous capacity with staffing and also the resources that we were looking forward to, which we all don't have in the state system. And that became a partnership that was just, God sent for us, and it shows in the results as Goodwill continue to provide this service for the last 7 years, and we have found the partnership to be very fruitful for both sides, and we are very happy with the results that we are seeing, and the placement numbers and the number of employers that are participating in the program is tremendous, and we are able to achieve these results notwithstanding the bad economy that state of Hawaii is facing. It's a testament to the partnership. It's a testament to the dedication to the mission for both the Department of Human Services and for Goodwill. And we are also meeting the work participation rate, and very high percentage, almost 10% of our subsidized slots actually help us meet the work participation requirement, which is like one of the top 3 in the nation. So that's what the partnerships can do in a situation like this, where state doesn't have resources and a private partner with credibility and capacity joins forces with the state and the results are obvious. And it's a win-win situation both for the state of Hawaii, Goodwill, and our clients.
TANF participants are referred to See Hawaii Work. Either they're underemployed or unemployed. See Hawaii Work has two specialized positions that are working with both the TANF participants and the employers. As soon as a participant's referred over, they're assigned a job retention coach. This person is going to be the champion, the motivator. They're going to provide intensive services to that TANF participant to help them get their resume ready, look at open job orders, submit applications, and get engaged and excited about actually getting a job. And the same time, an employer relations specialist is assigned to work with the employers. The employer relations specialists have specialized skills in doing industries analysis and knowing the localized labor employment market and working with the employers to understand their job descriptions, but more, in fact, to understand what are the critical components that they're looking for an individual to have success at their company. So it's really understanding the local, the culture of that employer. So the job retention coach, the employer relations specialists are working in conjunction to help make that appropriate job matching. Intensive services really go towards getting that appropriate job match that's going to result in long-term employment for the participant. So throughout the subsidized employment period, and then hopefully transitioning to unsubsidized employment at the conclusion of the subsidy.
And I think the referrals, as Danielle is referring to, actually go from the State of Hawaii's First to Work program, the Department of Human Services First to Work program, to Goodwill. And the things that I want to emphasize on is that there is tremendous amount of support services that are also part of this whole service delivery model, where we provide for childcare and we provide for work-related expenses and a lot of other costs that's associated with the person participating in the See Hawaii Work program. And we also provide transportation benefit, and we believe that we have one of the most innovative approaches to get the transportation situation resolved with clients, as Hawaii has a lot of remote areas and the transportation is not very good in those areas. And we allow the employers to actually come up with the transportation solution, and actually we give them up to $250 to come up with the transportation, so they can have 5 or 6 employees if they are working for them and they are TANF recipients and participating through See Hawaii program. We actually can give the employer $250 per person, and they will come up with the transportation solution, be it a van or a carpool that they can do. And we also have a situation where we actually reimburse the clients for mileage and allow for bus passes or any other transportation solution that they have. We also encourage them to actually do carpooling, where we can reimburse a person who is whose car that is and is a licensed driver, have insurance and registration. They can actually get the reimbursement from State of Hawaii for actually transporting other TANF recipients to the employment. So those are the transportation, childcare, and other services that we do provide that stabilize the client, in addition to on-job coaching or interventions that Goodwill provides. And we also have social work staff that can do interventions in case we do need to deal with the issues like child is not attending school or they have childcare issues. Our First to Work staff can intervene in conjunction with Goodwill staff to resolve those issues.
Hello, I'm Scott Nakasone, Program Administrator for the Employment and Training Program Office with the Department of Human Services, State of Hawaii.
Aloha, I'm Lori Lau, the Assistant Director of Workforce Development for Goodwill Industries of Hawaii, and I'm also responsible for overseeing the See Hawaii Work Program.
See Hawaii Work Program for the State of Hawaii. Basically, what we do is we take TANF referrals from our eligibility offices. They come through our First to Work program. These eligibles then go through a job readiness program. In the state of Hawaii, we have 2 entities, 2 different type of programs, one on Oahu called Hoala, and for the other parts of the state, we have the Department of Labor that provides job readiness. Our clients go through 1 week of job readiness, and that's followed up with 1 week of job search activities or job clubbing. And then thereafter, after successful completion of the job search and the job clubbing component, clients who are not able to secure unsubsidized employment at that point are then referred to the See program.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the retention support the C program offers employees. C Hawaii Works staff follow up with the C employees on a regular basis in order to monitor their progress and success. One of the ways we do this is by contacting the employers when the employee is working in order to follow up and see if there's any retention issues or other supports the program can provide for the employment. We also follow up with the employees a minimum of twice a month in order to again provide the retention support, advocate for the employees, or identify if there's any other assistance needed in order for the employee to maintain their employment. There's also a formal evaluation that we ask the C employers to complete once at the completion of the 90-day introductory period and again at the end of the subsidized employment.
Okay. Regarding the success of C, since its inception in 2005, the C program has had over 1,250 employer partnerships, over 3,100 job placements, over 1,200 families exiting TANF. 86% of our employees are retained upon completion of the subsidized period, and employees earn competitive industry wages and work an average of 32 hours per week.
The real heart of the C program is serving our participants. One of the participant success stories that we're very proud of starts with a single father of 2 children. The father came to us from one of the vocational rehabilitation programs, and so there were some documented disabilities that affected the kinds of employment that we could place the employee in. Personally, the employee also had some challenges. The father and his 2 children were living in an emergency transitional shelter, and so being able to contact the employee and the employee having stable housing and the other supports that one would normally have when they're looking for work was also a challenge. The C program worked with the employee, referring him to different employers. We also assisted with making sure the employee was presentable and ready to work. We were very pleased when he was able to find a job with a management company, a property management company, working as a landscaper / janitor type position for the company. While he was employed, there were some attendance issues, mostly focused around issues with his children. Whenever the kids were not able to go to school or there was another problem with the housing, he would miss work. But the C program staff worked with the employer in partnership in order to maintain the employment of the employee. And over time, the employee was able to prove himself to be valuable to the company and was eventually promoted into a lead position, managing a team, and finally into a property manager himself. And that was a great success because as a property manager, he was able to move himself and his 2 children into one of the units on the property. So not only did he have a long-term stable job that was able to provide financially for his family, but his family had a home.
Hi, I'm Lisa Washington Thomas, the branch chief for the Technical Assistance Branch in the Office of Family Assistance. I want to thank you for watching our video brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Administration for Children and Families, Office of Family Assistance.